We're live.
Good afternoon, Bobcat Nation. Welcome back to Bobcat Blitz Sports Update. We are here, Season 3, Episode 1 debut. So glad you could join us here today. I want to thank everyone for watching us all throughout the last 2 years. I can't believe it. Coming to us live as well from our StreamYard studio, the host, Mr. John Rawlings. John, 3 seasons.
Hey, how you doing? It's preseason, ready for football. I'm so done with no sport TV on
I got baseball, but yeah, I
ready to go now.
We
got to get some sports going.
So, John, always, are you in Florida or are you out of Florida right now?
I'm sitting in Florida.
Oh, all right. So you got to enjoy the summer heat like we're all loving it here.
Absolutely.
Well, John, I can't believe it. We're almost at 1,000 members as well. We're getting so close to that magical number for us. 3rd season. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Even though my daughter's graduated, I'm still going to come back and help out here and there as best I can. And, of course, that involves announcing football coming up. We're going to talk a lot about football in just a moment. But before I do so, John, I got to do a real quick, I promise, a quick summer wrap-up here for those of you who weren't able to follow us along. We started off June. I want a big shout-out to the Northport Fusion Women's Premier Soccer League. They have a semi-pro team here. I got to do 3 of their home games. That was exciting. We moved into July 4th. Coach Fu and the cross-country program did a great job on their annual fundraiser. It's the 5K here on campus on July 4th. The whole thing was underwater. They had almost 300 runners. Bless their hearts. They all had a great time. Patrick Obley of Sun Sports was here. Did a great job with the photography on that as well. A lot of summer camps. I do want to give a big shout out, however, the baseball summer camp. You might have seen on our page that they were doing some major renovations there. I can't wait. We're going to try to get out here in a few weeks and go take a look at the new dugout system. They got all sorts of nice stuff going on there. A lot of volunteers, a lot of community effort on that as well. Big time on that. We also had, I almost forgot, I haven't seen Coach since his own fundraiser. He had a big golf tournament at Heron Creek. We'll talk about that in just a moment as well when we get Coach on. But, John, believe it or not, there are 6 sports in the fall, and they're already up and running. They're ready to go. We've got girls volleyball, of course, the football program, cross country, swimming, golf, and our cheer team. So there's a lot going on. They did not take the summer off. And with that, probably the hardest working man on campus here behind me, the Preserve. He'll be here in a few days. Coach Devin Gales is here for our football preview. Coach, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me back on.
Oh, man. Oh, it's a great time of the year. My big regret is I will not be here Friday for the Big Fall Classic, but I will definitely be back for the regular season. I have to move my daughter into college that day, her dorm. So I'm so sorry. But we did find a great surprise replacement for me. He's going to do a great job on Friday. So, having said that, Devin, let's start from the very beginning here. You came in, because our fans might be new, you are part of a very special club here. We don't have many of them out there. You are an alumni of Northport High School. You are now a coach of Northport High School, and you're a staff member. So you're the trifecta. We got Coach Aspen Davidson, Coach Joey Sorbino, and I think you're the only 3 now that can say that. They have all 3 on their belt. How's it feel coming back? Is it sinking in now?
I got you back. Ask that question again. We lost him for a second.
I'll go ahead. Devin?
Can you hear us, Devin? Okay, he's going to log back out and come back in.
All right. Well, while we're doing, I'll keep talking some more. While we're waiting for Devin to go on, we've got a lot of congratulations as well this summer, John. High schools are fluid things. People come in, people come out. Transfers happen all the time. We got some incoming Northporters. We want to give a huge shout out to Coach Shannon Williams. Now, Belser had his child in the springtime. We've got another junior Bobcat over the summer. He had his little baby boy there over the summertime. He's very proud, mom and dad there as well. We want to give a big shout out to Tony Miller. Tony, if you're watching, super congratulations. You're going to represent the athletic directors of the entire county. So we got a Northporter at that level. Mark Kimball, we're going to have him on later on the next few weeks. He is now our new athletic director. Of course, John, you know Mark very well.
I do.
From the wrestling days, one of our founding wrestling coaches, as well as our current golf coach. So we got a lot there. Our new assistant ADs, got to give a shout out to, we know them both, Joey Sorbino, varsity boys soccer coach. He's now one of the assistants, and Coach Lowy over at softball. So the two of them are now our new assistant athletic director. So a lot of movement going on there. Very excited for them on that. We have a new coach, Coach Nappy of wrestling. He is now the boys varsity swim coach. And of course, we have Coach Rowe jumping on for baseball. So a lot of nice changes here and there. We're going to have some really nice conversations throughout the year with everybody involved on that. So we got Coach back on.
Yes, he's back on.
Oh, all right, Devin. So we're talking about how you're part of the rare club of alumni, coach, and staff members. It's you, Joey Sorbino, and Aspen Davison are the only ones I know of right now. How's that feel?
No, it feels awesome, man. I think that's the coolest part about coming back right now is we're starting to see more and more alumni get back on campus.
Now, Devin, alumni. Let's talk about the alumni for a minute. So I forgot to mention, John knows this more than I do. He's here before I was. 25th year, I had to go find my original hat. I had this hat back in 2000 whatever. This is the old hat I got from the Publix right here down the road. So I'm going to take this off. 25th year anniversary. Devin, you're part of that more than I am. I know I was only a teacher here, but you're actually a student. Have you taught any of the alumni that are involved with sports in the past? Have they reached out to you and given you congratulations? Well wishes?
Yeah, no, I've talked to numerous people about, just coming back home, the 25th anniversary, getting involved, things like that. Definitely trying to get as many alumni as we can, especially for that homecoming game this season, to be out and be back at the school and just be part of it.
About the homecoming, 25th anniversary. Alumni, if you're watching, get the word out to your buddies. Come on, that's gonna be a sold out game. We need them all to come back down for that. There is a super fan of our show, Mr. Lenny. I give a shout out to Lenny. He wants to know, before we get into the details here, can Coach make it happen where they have something special for all the alumni for that night? I said I'll bring it up with Coach Gale, so I'm gonna put you on the spot there to help him out and get some big alumni event for that game. I think SGA's probably already got something in the works there, but just in case they don't.
Yeah, so SGA's already started working on some things for that night. We're definitely going to make sure that the alumni that come out are taken care of. They're recognized, working on getting you guys some barbecue, getting you some good food. I'm going to let Miss Noise speak more on that before I give out too many details to get yelled at. But if you haven't already gone on, and I think it was our school and the athletic department both posted a QR code over the summer asking for alumni. Make sure you go to the link, sign up as an alumni so that the school knows who you are and knows that you're still around and want to be around and be part of it.
Excellent. Yep. I knew you had something sore for it.
Yeah.
Because so you came in February-ish, March-ish. You saw, we were here for the blue and silver game. So let's talk about your summer. What did you see? What did you like? What do you don't have to give too much details away. Like what are you still working on that you might be an area of concern? Give us a wrap up of what you saw this summertime.
So I think the summer was good. The first reason is we kind of got to finish up the staff, being varsity and JV staffs. We got those filled out. We got those guys in so they can start building relationships with the kids, start getting used to working together. And then the other thing is the kids got a little bit more accustomed to the way that I like to work and the way that I want to do things. I'm very process-driven kind of person. I'm one day at a time. I'm not worried about week 7. I'm not worried about week 8. I'm worried about today. And they kind of got a little bit more used to how I like to do things this summer. Even those that had a taste of it in the spring, I think this summer they really kind of figured out what the expectation is and where we want to go, how we want to go about our business. Now,
Again, don't want to be too negative here, but every time we lose a coach and a new one comes in, there's always turnover amongst the numbers of our kids. But the kids who stay behind, I've always felt as a neutral observer, the kids who stay behind and want to grow with the program, there's a lot to be said for that. Don't you think, Coach?
No, there's a huge, not only appreciation, but admiration for those guys that stay. And that's for anybody that has those guys that are here for 4 years, those guys that see the adversity and they decide to stay. And I think at the end of the day, anybody that has been to Northport and stayed through it and those that are staying this year, like those are life lessons those guys are going to come away with forever because they're going to stay and they're going to face the adversity and they're going to do that with their team and with their school and with their community.
And John said this before, if you're good, they're going to find you. The technology is there now. the max prep huddle. You're going to have your highlight reels. You know, if you go to another program and you're just another one of a decent lineup, there's a good chance you're not going to be seen because you're not playing as much as, say, a smaller perennial. But what I always thought interesting is John and I, we come from a generation where you lived in that city, you went to that school. That's just, you know, just moving around and transferring here. And it's not just us. All the schools do it. I know it's not just us that have that.
Across the nation.
Yeah. And it's getting worse, right? This NIL, the name, image, likeness situations. You know, how did you guys cope with that? With the gossip here and the whispers there and how are we going to get so-and-so to stay? How did you guys handle that as a team, as a coaching staff, as the players?
I think all of us, and I mean, it definitely affects the kids more than it does. I mean, the coaches that we have now, I think that we only have, I think, a few coaches that are kind of from the staff last year that are staying. So it definitely affects those coaches a little bit. It's a lot of the kids, and the way that we talk to them and what we talk about in the building is we're only worried about us. We're worried about the kids that are here, the people that are here. Right? We can't control what anybody on the outside is doing, what they say, what they talk about, what's on Twitter. You're gonna play where you want to play, and I think that the kids in the spring got a good taste of kind of who I was and what the expectation was, and those that wanted to stay and play here, those are the guys that we're focused on.
I know I met you at the farmers market a long time ago, and I met one of your new hire coaches. I believe he's from up north as well. What could you speak of one or two that you picked up, either through your connections from Pinellas County or not? Some the coach we can look forward to seeing that might be new to the program here.
Yeah, so you met Coach Hoyt at the farmers market. I've talked about him a little bit. He coached Division II football the last couple of years. He's going to be our defensive coordinator this season as we move forward. He's had an awesome summer. Spring, he was kind of hanging back a little bit, watching how the coaches that were already here did things, kind of getting to know the players. During the summer, he's been able to step into his own a little bit, going into the school year now that he's on campus. And the other one on the defensive side being Coach Blamberg. I think we talked about Kyle a little bit in the spring. As soon as summer started, he was able to jump on board full time. He's on campus now. And he's one that, I mean, he's coached at 4 or 5 schools. I mean, he's coached at more schools than I have at this point. So he brings a lot of different experience and viewpoints from coaching players at high levels and coaching with coaches that have a lot of good experience as well.
Hey, real quick, Aaron Hall has a question. What date is alumni night?
Ooh, I will have
to. Oh, I know it is. It's the week before Halloween, I believe. Halloween is senior night. I think homecoming is the week before that.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's homecoming's the week before Halloween.
So October 24th. October 24th it will be.
Yeah,
Friday
24th.
night.
We'll have that. We'll have that solidified next week, and we'll definitely get it out there for you, Coach.
Hey, John, Aaron Hall goes back to the very first episode 3 years ago at Beef O'Brady's. She was there with her family. Shout out to Aaron Hall. Yep. Super fan. Thank you, Aaron. I know Aaron personally, so thank you for seeing us today. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
So, Devin.
Anybody else?
So Devin, let's go back to your coaches here.
Question, put it on Facebook, and we'll definitely put it out there for you.
And yeah, thank you so much. So, Devin, your coaches, let's talk about it for a minute. You mentioned something before we went off the question there. They have lots of experience. Sometimes change is not a bad thing. In fact, these younger coaches, they're up to date on the new way of coaching, on the new styles and new strategies. I think this could be a good fit for this team. You got a lot of young players coming in. You got young coaches. It's gonna be a nice young energy. Not that that's a bad thing from the last couple of years. I'm not judging the other teams, but this could be a nice little combination here. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing for the players and the coaches. I went through it about I want to say 4 years ago at Pinellas Park, where we went from a really successful head coach actually to a new head coach. And like even through that transition, you learn so much from the new people that are in charge. So when it comes to these guys coming in, they bring all of that knowledge, experience into the coach's office with them to share with the coaches that are there. And at the end of the day, we're all growing together. We're all rowing in the same direction.
And John likes to mention the culture. How, with all that being said, how are you seeing the culture, say today, August 12th versus say back when you showed up the first time back in May and April. How's your culture changing? How's it adapting? What are you seeing good on that side?
So I think that, those first couple months, you always have that time period where the players are deciding, am I going to buy into this? Is this something that's good for me? Is this where I want to be, especially in the culture that we have in the world where they can transfer tomorrow? I think during the summer, you kind of see that shift. You find out which guys are buying into what we're selling them, which guys are coming to work every day, and which guys want to move forward here. So now we're at this point where, mid-July, end of July, we see this team starting to gel as it's a lot of new faces. I had this conversation with our guys the other day. I think I highballed us in the interview last week. I think we have one returning starter from last year, which a lot of people see as a negative thing, and all I see really is an opportunity for 21 guys to step in and be a guy.
One returner, really?
Yeah, so it's one of those things like, day one, we got a lot of guys trying to figure out what this team's going to look like, and now we're to the point where they know what it looks like, and we're kind of starting to finally turn into a team.
And Coach, if they persevere through this year, because they're going to struggle, they're going to be fun to watch next year and the year after as they grow together and they get it. They finally get it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of your new players, I don't want to make this a popularity contest or who your best and all that is, but can you give us, say, one or two players on both sides, offense, defense, special teams, what have you, that you are, I wouldn't say hoping, but expecting? I don't know. What are you expecting good things out of from what you've seen so far? Not that the rest of the players aren't going to be there. Is there one or two that popped out on your mind there?
Yes, there's a few that I'll talk about, and I mean most of them are the seniors that stayed. The first one being Jackson Motherway is going to start at middle linebacker for us, and hopefully spotlight on offense when we need him. He's a guy that last year was kind of getting some playing time, getting on the field when he could, but I mean, we've watched him from February to today really come into his own. I mean, this is the guy that was kind of moving around on the field a little bit in the spring.
You got a few minutes?
He looked okay, and now he's to the point where he's flying around, making plays all over the place during practice. So we definitely expect big things from Motherway. Another guy we really like is Charles Cash. Charles is one that from the day I got there till today, you look at him, you watch him lift, you watch him run. I mean, he's a next level guy. He's a guy that you're going to see play some level of college football. And he's another one that we think he just needs a lot of game reps. And once he starts seeing game speed and game reps, he's going to be a big player for us at safety and at wide receiver.
Fantastic. You've got a lot going on out there, Coach, and you're evaluating players differently than ever before. How's your assessment this early in the season for where you guys are at?
So I'll be very honest about that, and that's that we're going to have to let Friday speak for itself. We're in a situation, like every other team in the state where we've been going to practice and we've been hitting each other since February. And we got a small look at Island Coast, but even that being said, the offense is going to be completely different now. We have 3 different offensive linemen, 2 different outside receivers, a new quarterback, the quarterback that plays moving and running back. The defense is going to be restructured to look a lot different than it did at Island Coast. So I think as a team, we're just really excited to play Friday to find out who we are and who we're going to be.
Well, Coach, I got a little cameo here. I don't know if you recognize this young man or not. I kind of stole him. Speaking of character and culture, this young man was out here by himself throwing the ball. I got a baseball player helping out as well. Shout out to the baseball, but he's here on his own. I don't know if you punished him or not, or if he's here because he wants to get better. But Coach, why don't you introduce who you have right in front of me? I don't even know this young man yet.
Hey, so if my eyes aren't deceiving me, that's our quarterback. That's Jack Stoltzfus. Jax is one of these guys that we kind of talk about buying into the program and figuring out what it looks like and really kind of being a team guy. Jax was there the entire spring practicing with us, knowing that we were waiting on, some homeschool paperwork to come through, that showed up every day, learned the offense every day, practiced, couldn't play in a spring game, and then did the same thing all summer. So, like, that's a guy that's bought in, a guy that's working, a guy that's going to start his first varsity game on Friday as a sophomore. So we're really excited for Jax.
Well, I'm gonna cut in here. Jax,
Yes,
welcome to the program.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
This is called the Bobcat Blitz Sports Update. We
Yes,
do
sir.
a little Facebook podcast, so I don't know if you have family watching, but we'll have it for you to
Maybe, yeah.
see.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's talk a little about yourself. What grade are you in?
I'm in 10th. I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
What give us a teeny little bio of what your football? Are you from this area? Did you
Yes,
come
sir.
down from
So,
somewhere else?
I've played since I was 4.
Yeah.
I first started at the Mustangs,
Okay.
right over there. And then I went to Venice for a couple years, played a couple years at Pop Warner. And then I came here last year with Belser. Then I was going to go to Venice, and I heard we got a new coach, and he's great. He's awesome.
So you hear that, John? We could have lost him, but he stayed. It's a
Good
nice
for
thing
you.
to hear.
Good job.
So you play Pop Warner. Were you always a quarterback?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I saw you throwing out here just now. You got some good little, spirals
Thank you,
there.
thank
Now
you.
I don't want to give up X and O's for Fridays, and Coach, I don't know how much you want to reveal or not, but what have you seen in the summertime with your line, your running backs, your receivers?
Yes, sir.
How are you guys meshing and gelling together?
So it's like a new group since last year, and we're all hungry. We're all ready. We can't wait for Friday. Our line's been doing great. Awesome. Our receivers been working to getting better every day. Whole team's getting better every day.
And you're a sophomore quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Are they listening to you? You gonna get a little nasty on them sometimes?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm messing with you. Coach, you got a sophomore quarterback. What was the decision process on going with a young quarterback? That's a tough one to do in your first year.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I mean, when we get to this level of high school football, we want to make every player better. But at the end of the day, the best player is going to play at that position. And Jax has made a very good case all spring and all summer that he's the best decision to go with calling the plays this season. And the exciting thing about him being so young is, it's his first game, and we sit around watching film all summer talking about this guy, talking about that guy. He's got 3 years of football in front of him to play at a very high level. So Friday is just the first step for him.
Jax, little look ahead here. I know you've seen the schedule. We're going to talk to Coach about schedule in just
Yes,
a moment here. You got 1 or 2 games you're circling. I know they're all important. Don't get me wrong. We know every game's important.
Yes,
is there one you might have been saying?
I want Lemon Bay. Lemon Bay is who I want.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Last year we went to Lemon Bay and beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So did you see the trophy we have from that?
The hammer?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. So you know about the hammer.
Yes, sir.
Good. All right. So the best thing you could do is make sure that hammer stays.
Yeah, exactly.
In North
I'm
Point.
coming for that hammer.
Do you know people in the Lemon Bay area?
Well, so
be positive. We don't be negative.
yeah,
So.
when I was at the Huskies, they've always been our rivals. So every game to look forward to was Englewood. So it's the same thing here. Now I'm playing against those players at a higher level. So I can't wait.
So we're gonna let you go back to practice here in a minute. Jax, anything you want to say to fans, family watching about coming out Friday?
Thank you all for coming. We're all hungry. We'll be here.
Yeah. You want to say hi to mom or dad? Anybody out there you want to say? Grandma,
what's up, Dad?
Grandparents, some of that. We'll get you the link on that one. So Jax, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes,
I can't wait to see you play this fall. I'm gonna let you go back to throwing around. Thank you, Jax. Again, folks, that's our varsity starting quarterback, Jax. I missed the last name. I apologize. Devin was the last name on him?
Stoltzfus.
Stoltzfus. I'm going to screw that one up big time. So
we'll send you the spelling.
Yeah, we're going to have to get that right. So we also have marching band coming out here. They're about to do a practice session, so that's nice to see. So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the schedule. So you heard Jax looking forward to Lemon Bay defending our first time ever trophy against Lemon Bay. I can't believe we've never won that trophy until last year. But you're going to start off with Moorhaven. Now, we went down there last year. We beat them in Moorhaven. And, Coach, very interesting thing. I was looking at Max Preps today, and you've heard about the FHSAA, the Max Preps, the state ranking system. Did you know Moorhaven was ranked higher than us last year, even though we had the same record and we played bigger schools? I was like, this is so crazy. But we take on Moorhaven Friday. Then the big one, we're going to go to Parrish. It's your first regular season game. That's away at Parrish. We haven't been too successful against Parrish these last 2 years, but I feel like the gap was getting better. But they went 9-2 last year. They were a pretty strong team. So that was not I hate saying bad losses, but that wasn't like, oh my goodness. Then the first when we come back home for regular, the big Charlotte game, that's going to be a big one there. Then we have Sarasota. We've got Riverview, Sarasota. We've got all sorts of teams, Braden River, all sorts of stuff going on. tough schedule. Why don't you talk about your schedule this year? What did you notice about it? What are you looking forward to the most with our schedule this year?
All right, so I mean, we've talked about it a little bit before. I mean, the exciting thing about this schedule is we're getting back to playing all of our community teams again. And they had a few of them last year, and this is something that was a big deal when I got here, is they wanted to start getting back to playing these teams within this probably about an hour and a half range of the school. We want to get that. We want to be playing Charlotte and Parrish and Sarasota, Braden River. I mean, Lemon Bay, like all the schools that are around us, those are the schools that we want to be competing against. All right.
And for our fans who don't know any better, they might not remember that this year we are not in a district. That's probably going to change, I'm guessing, next year. Why don't you talk a little about what that means for the kids and the matchups and all that, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so, I mean, after this season, we'll be back in the district. We'll go back to district play. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We won't be independent again, just because of the way the contracts work. We've been independent for 4 years. But that being said, I think that it gets a really negative kind of connotation from everybody looking in at it.
No.
At the end of the day, our kids get to play 11 games. We're going to play 11 competitive teams. We're going to see our Sarasota Riverviews of the world, and we're going to go have opportunities for our kids to play games. All right. And then at the end of the day, our kids will get the film that they need if they're looking to play at that next level as well. So we're not as worried this year about being independent or playoffs or district or kind of even falling into those distractions, because that's a distraction for some teams that are trying to make the playoffs, as they get so caught up in where are we, how are we doing, instead of focusing on practice today, practice tomorrow, and the game at the end of the week.
And, I think 2 years ago we had a little pseudo bowl game. That was kind of fun, too. That was nice. You got to play someone you would never think of playing as a postseason game. So maybe that option's there this year. That would be nice. That'd be a nice thing to call. So scheduling-wise, 5 home games, 5 away games. You've got a stretch there where you have 3 away games back to back to back. That's a tough one there. What are you expecting to see on that one? And those aren't easy games either. I'm like, oh Lordy, what happened in that one?
Hey, we're gonna play the teams that show up on Friday.
Yeah. So and then we'll finish. Of course, we'll have the last game here will be against Lemon Bay. Of course, that'll be senior night. So I did want to transition a little bit. We talked earlier about name, image, likeness off camera and the new dynamic of kids moving and all that. Part of this, and I know you've had to work, and a lot of people don't realize how hard you have to work in terms of getting the funding to help you out with your sponsors. Now, I've been talking with you a lot about our sponsors list coming up here. Got to give a shout out, first of all levels. I believe you have 4 levels, starting white, navy, silver, and platinum. Why don't you speak a little bit about how did you get the sponsors? If you want to give some shout outs real quick, of course you may. We'll always give shout outs during the game as well to our sponsors, and how important that is to you as a program for that to happen.
Okay, well, a lot of it, especially in the spring, especially for a lot of our white sponsors, we didn't really have the levels set up when I first came in. A lot of our white sponsors came in and really supported us for our golf tournament, and that was huge for us. It was the first thing we did when I got here, wanted it to be successful. A lot of those came in during that golf tournament. We're going to make sure that we have their banners up in the stadium as well, and they kind of helped us get off the ground. I mean, when they show up on a piece of paper, it looks like all the white sponsors are the lowest ones, but at the end of the day, when I got there and we had about zero money, those are the guys that help get us off the ground. So we love every one of those sponsors. And then about halfway through the summer, we finished our packages as far as sponsors. Our new wide receiver coach, Coach Rourke, came in, and he works in sales and things, and he pushed it out to, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even give you the word I'm looking for.
That's okay.
He pushed it out to his contacts and started spreading the word through them.
Networking.
We got invited to go over to BNI and talk to them as well. They're a business group. And then we just kind of continue to push it out as a staff. And it looks like the more sponsors we get, the more they talk to their friends, and that excitement spreads.
So I'm going to move out of the stadium because marching bands are going to sound great as much as they are, but they're going to be too loud for me to talk over. So, Coach, your platinums, your silvers, and all that, I forgot the names of all of them. You want to give a quick shout out to those? I used to call them title sponsors, but believe it's
Yeah.
RNG is one of them. Wharton Construction.
Yeah, you're catching me off guard.
That's okay. Dove's Barbecue. There's a whole bunch of things
Yeah,
in there.
RMI and Wharton Smith are definitely our two big ones, our platinum sponsors. Then Dub's Barbecue has been super generous as well. RE Mold came in.
Awesome.
And then we have our Navy sponsors as well. So that's going to be Cairo Way Chiropractic of Northport. He's right outside the school, actually, right down the road. He's been awesome for us. And we have a couple other ones on there as well.
Hey, I got a cut in here, man. We got a cameo by Miss Allegria. Getting the Alliance band, you ready to go? How you doing, Miss Allegria? Living the dream. That's a good dream always. Sure. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Sorry to cut you off there. Hey, I did want to give a shout out one of your sponsors, Northport High School's very own NJROTC. That is pretty cool.
No, that was definitely huge, and it caught me off guard when it happened. But I mean, I walked straight up to their room and went and talked to them afterwards. That's one of those things. Like I said, we got there, we're trying to get everything off the ground. We're kind of stuttering as far as money's concerned, and they stepped up and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna support our own." And that was huge for us.
We've had the cadets on here, I'd say more than almost some of the sports teams we have. We've had Chief on as well. And we liked it later on in the year. We were going to highlight the not just the teams of Northport High School sports, but also the backdrop, the people who help run the things that people don't know. So RTC cadets, of course, we use them all the time for our sports program. So what a neat thing for them to do. So I do want to thank them on that. Thank you, Chief Kipe, on that one as well. So Devin, going into this Friday, let's do a quick little X's and O's on Friday. Again, I know you don't want to give too much on it, but what can we expect to see on Friday night?
So on Friday night, it's going to be fun. They're in a very similar situation as us. They've got a new head coach. They've got a whole new team. So the stuff that we see on film, the stuff that they see on film might look very different on Friday from the way that we think it will. So it's going to be kind of a feeling out process, definitely to start the game. Offensively for us, what we're trying to do is we're going to try to be more balanced. Okay, we talked about it a little bit. Didn't really have somebody at quarterback in the spring that we felt comfortable running the whole playbook, and he's an awesome player, and he's probably going to play both ways on Friday at a different position. But so we didn't really have the whole offense ready for that game. We were very simplistic. We knew kind of what we wanted to do, and we stuck kind of to a similar style to what they saw last year, which is we're going to go downhill and we're going to run the football. But I think that our goal on offense is to be a lot more balanced than we were in the spring when we play on Friday. As far as defense is concerned, I've alluded to it before. We're going to look a lot different. Got a bunch of new starters, little bit different scheme. We're just on Friday. We're looking for guys that want to run to the ball and hit people. Those are the guys that we got to find, and we're going to find out on Friday where they're at.
Will you have live special teams on Friday night, or are there safety protocols in place for this game?
No, we'll do live specials this Friday. I think that was important to both me and Coach at Moorhaven. So it's both of our first season as the head coach.
Oh,
and
excellent.
As much as doing dead specials could kind of bail both of us out for the week, you want to make those mistakes this week. If you're going to make mistakes, you want them to happen this Friday in a preseason game before you roll into week one. So I think it was important to us that we get those reps in no matter what.
Yep.
That's a great point you make there. Not just special teams. I got to say goodbye to Egloff. He's not kicking. I love that. I get to use the name Egg the Leg. So I got to get a new nickname for your kicker. But not just the special teams, but speak to how important these preseason games. I know people don't like watching preseason NFL games. And I know college kids wish they had a preseason game so they can get that out of their way. They try to schedule easier teams. But for high school especially, as an announcer, I get to see all the little oopsies here and there that you might not, because you're still focused on the play at hand. But a kid might not have the mouth guard, or might have the padding in the wrong place, or they run off and come back on, don't realize they're in the right scheme or not. A lot of little errors there that you see the first-time players. So how valuable is it for these guys to know that this game really is a big deal, even though it doesn't count on the wins and loss record?
Yeah, no, I think it's extremely important. You're going to see a lot of stuff happen on Friday where, like you said, we're going to have, some small equipment issues, some small staffing issues. And then you're going to have your stuff that happens in game where, you have your miscommunications, kids kind of figuring out where they need to be, when they need to be there. New coaches for us working together. We talked about it in length. We got a lot of new guys.
Yeah.
We had 3 returning varsity coaches. So we got 5 new ones, and we got to learn to work together, and the kids on the field have to learn to work together. And on top of that, you've also got your guys that are kind of your buffer guys. You got your starters that are going to start the game, and then you have those guys right behind them that want to make a run at being a starter. So they're going to get some reps to prove that when we roll into competitive play that they should be on the field.
And I just thought about this. Guess who else really needs the preseason game? The announcer, the band, the ROTC. We still have to get our act together as well. So again, I could kick myself for not being here Friday night, but it does show the referees. They haven't officiated a game in a long time. So the clock run, all that stuff. Everybody needs that preseason game to to iron up all the details and make sure it's great. Now, Coach, before we let you go here, I want to thank you for coming out again today. We're going to have we've been building up a wonderful culture, not just on the field, but in the stands. We've got 2 really neat things going on. You already mentioned Miss Noyes in student government. She has a touchdown club for our sponsors, our boosters, our alumni. That's not going to be here this Friday, but it will be in time, I'm sure, for the next home game. We got that going. Student government has really cranked up the energy level. They have a thing called the block. That's the student section sit. And it's going to be a neon night for Friday. So everybody in the crowd try to get those neon clothes going. So how important is that to you that when you're on the field or the kids are on the field listening and they turn around and there's energy from both on the field, the touchdown club, in the student section, the parent section. We got the cowbells cranking up every year. That's getting louder and louder. What's that say to you as a coach? Say, hey, look, this program's really getting better and better as a home field experience for the whole family.
Yeah, no, I think that's just part of this program building and kind of bringing the community together. And I think that it's awesome for the kids. It seems like those of us that are from Northport, go to Northport, are around Northport, adversity seems to follow us on a regular basis, as funny or not funny as we want to make that. But I mean, those kids being able to turn around and at the end of the day, they see the people that are there supporting them. I mean, that's huge for them and it's huge for us as a team.
And of course, that extends all the way down to the youth leagues. We got 2 programs here in Northport. We have I always get this wrong, the Junior Bobcats and the Huskies. I don't want to screw that up, but all the way down those programs helping out as well. That's also the cheerleaders. I can't wait. Coach Greg Wash taking over this year for the sidelines here. They're going to bring a great crowd out as well. They're going to be there Friday night with their routine. Thank goodness. That's great to hear. Band will be there Friday night. They're going to have a limited. They will not have a halftime show, but that's okay. They'll be there for the first home game. So, Coach, any last words you want to say about the season, about Friday, about anything on your mind? You go ahead. I'll give you the last word here.
Yeah, so I got 2 things. The first one just kind of piggybacks on what you just said. I want to give a shout out to both of our youth organizations. So Junior Bobcats and Huskies. And, it's been a quiet month from me to them just because we're getting ready for season. But I think that both programs are doing an awesome job with the kids in our community, getting them involved, teaching them football, teaching them how to be part of a team. And we've gotten a lot of support back from them as well. So I love what both programs are doing. And the other thing is, we're just worried about Friday.
Hey, before we go though, Coach,
figure the rest of the season out later.
Word on the street.
Let's not say worried. Let's say focused on Friday.
Focused on Friday. There you go.
I want to say something real quick. I heard there's a rumor out there that the Huskies and the Junior Bobcats U14 team are going to play each other this year, the 11-man team. So that's going to be exciting. Talk about future Bobcats right there. I once I get official confirmation, we'll definitely put that on. It's going to be here at the high school too, and I am going to announce that game. I'm so excited about that. So Coach, thank you so much for coming out here. I appreciate this. I can't wait to work with you all season long. And again, I'm very proud of you. I don't know if people know this or not, but you were one of my students as I was saying goodbye to teaching. So you didn't have me at my finest, but you turned out pretty good anyways. Again, give my best to your parents. They were great for my daughter when she was a little squirt here as a little kid. So thank you, Coach. Look forward to seeing you throughout the season here. Again, don't be a stranger on our show. Good luck with everything.
Good job, Coach.
Thank you.
So So again, that was Coach Devin Gales with our varsity and JV. Don't forget we have a JV team as well. If you go on our Facebook page, there is a wonderful link that I forgot to mention this, they have a great page of their own that has the entire schedules. They have week-to-week updates of their own, what game scouting reports and all that. So that's a wonderful site there as well. I did want to give a big shout out here. We've got 2 things coming up. This Saturday, besides the Friday game, we have varsity volleyball starts their preseason. They're going to go to Imagine in volleyball. And the cross-country team, it's technically a preseason. They're going to go to Port Charlotte for their Pirate Run. We usually do very well at that event. So they're up and going. And pretty soon, before you know it, varsity volleyball, they will have their first home game next Monday. So we're off and running. Saturday as well. I want to thank Coach Kimball for telling us this. The Northport Farmers Market, they actually use the stadium parking lot, and some of the proceeds will go back to Northport Athletics. So that's between 8:30 and 12, or maybe 8 and 12. So if you're in the area, come by, get some fantastic products here from our own local vendors. Again, some of those products will come back. And then November 6th, I did want to mention, shout out, John. This is a big deal for me.
Yep.
It's not a Northport High School event, but a lot of our kids partake in it. It's the Remember the Fallen 5-kilometer fun run, fun walk. It's at City Hall, City Green. And for those of us at a certain age group, we remember the day of September 11th, what happened on that day. We're old enough to probably know exactly where we were that day. But the firemen, they do a color guard, honor guard, and they've been doing it now for 15 years. And the event gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Last year we had color guard there. We had Northport ROTC. We had Key Club as well. We had athletes there helping out. So it's a really big deal. It's still open to registration. It's 7:30 in the morning, September 6th. So that's coming up really fast. I do see a lot of Northporters and Northport students and athletes there as well. So a lot happening fast. Wait till next week. I'm going to have a full schedule to announce. So, John, are you ready for another year of...
I am so ready.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I want to thank John Rongs for... We're on our third... I can't believe we're doing 3 years. I remember the very first episode at Beef O'Brady's like it was yesterday. And, you know, you've done many more years of this. I can't imagine how fast it's going for you. So.
I think I'm on year 9 now. So
wow.
It's not going away. It's going to stick around and fighting for the right things. You know?
And you know, John, my closing thought for the day. I'm gonna start having closing thoughts. So we're 25 years. First of all, I can't believe the high school's been open for 25 years.
Yep.
But last year we kept hearing a common theme that I didn't quite buy with, and that was we're a young school. Now, 25 years, if you do the math, that puts you in your early 40s. So we now have an age group old enough to have their kids in high school here. So we're now on our second full generation coming up through the doors here. So I think we can start getting that point now where we're no longer going to use we're a young school as an excuse. Wrestling, they started right out the bat. They were going strong. Yep. Basketball was going strong. So it can be done. I think the mindset here with all these coaches, Coach Rowe coming back, Coach Devin here, we got a lot of young energy. I think we are ready for a nice explosion in results this year. So I'm really looking forward to what they bring to the field, to the courtroom, to the classroom, to the sponsors as well. So I'm really excited about this year on the 25th anniversary of Northport High School's first
No doubt.
class. So.
Love it.
John, thank you so much again, fans. We appreciate you watching us tonight on the Bobcat Blitz. We will see you next Tuesday. Good night.
Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.